Hey everybody, welcome to our second live stream of day 2 of Summer Leadership Weekend, and we're so glad that you're with us. I know it has been a full day of sessions in Zoom, and we have had so much fun together and a lot of great discussions. And man, you guys have been great. It's just been amazing to see everybody come out and participate and be a part of this weekend. You know, yesterday we had some great sessions that happened that I was super proud to be a part of. I mean, we did a session with Dr. Tammy Singleton. We had a session on what resiliency means. We had probably one of my favorites was this pre-screening that we did with Patrick James Lynch and Debbie De La Riva on mental health within the bleeding disorders community, and that was such a powerful moment with amazing information. You definitely want to try to check that out on our YouTube channel later if it's available after the event. This is one of those sessions that would be really, really good for you to see, and I think you'll really enjoy it. We've had a lot of fun in our exhibit hall scavenger hunt. We had our last one earlier this afternoon, so if you missed out on that, I'm sorry, but man, we gave away a lot of gift card money, which I know will help a lot of people, but also we had a lot of fun. It was just fun to spend time together and hang out in that way. And then we just got done with a session on scholarships from Julian Borges and Ethical Factor, talking a little bit about education and how to further your education in leadership. It was a great session. But look, right now we are wrapping up the evening, but we've still got one more session for you after this. So look, if you've been working all day and you're like, look, I didn't have time to engage in any of this, that's okay. We still have one session left. You can go to our website. You can register at hope-charities.org, and we will send you the link. You can just do that, and we will text it to you or email you, whatever works best for you. But you can jump into that last session tonight, which starts at 7:30 Central Standard Time. And actually, that's going to be a topic on stress management. Who does not need some more tools on stress management? I think that that's going to be a really great topic and a conversation. So join us for that for sure. Also, tomorrow morning, we are going to have probably one of the sessions I'm really most excited about this weekend is a conversation about self-care. You know, we talk a lot about mental health, we talk about stress management, we talk about resiliency, but truly there's this dynamic of taking care of yourself that really is a contributing factor to whether or not you have enough rest and energy to be able to go through the hard stuff, to be able to handle the difficult days. And so we want you to come and be a part of that conversation. Our resident counselor will be the one teaching that class, Lori Bienvenue, and she's a fantastic facilitator. So you don't want to miss that session in the morning, first thing at 9 a.m. Saturday, July 17th. So again, if you're just tuning into this and you're learning more about it, there's still 2 more breakout sessions that you can be a part of. There's self-care tomorrow morning, and Kevin Harris is going to be joining us to talk about redefining goals and setting new freedoms for ourselves. So you don't want to miss out on either one of those. Those are going to be fantastic sessions. And then we'll be live one more time tomorrow around noon, and it's going to be a great time on YouTube and Facebook. So, man, come hang out with us, spend some time with us this next few sessions together that we have. But, man, it's already been so much fun, and I certainly hope that you've gotten a lot out of it. These next couple of sessions, just so you know, we will be giving away a $100 gift card in the 2 sessions tomorrow as well as the one tonight. So if you participate, you get a chance to potentially get enrolled to win those gift cards as well. And then there's still time. If you participate in 3 or more sessions, and guess what? We have 3 sessions left. You can still be entered into a chance to win one of the 3 grand prizes that we have for this weekend, which is the information that's on our website. We are giving away a Sony a6400 camera, which is a fantastic professional videography camera as well as photography camera. And then we are also giving away an executive ergonomic chair and a standing desk electronic. I really feel like I need to win that. I'm not sure how that happened, but anyway, I can't win it. It's not eligible. But anyway, I want you to know that we still are going to be giving those away. And if you jump in now and register even now, you still have a chance to win those amazing prizes. So we really hope that you get to be a part of that this weekend. Earlier, and it's still on Facebook and YouTube, you can go back and watch these videos, but we interviewed Danny Gokey, who's an award-winning amazing musical artists. So don't miss out on that. That's there. We also did a session with the national leadership this morning. It started early at 8 a.m. and man, it was a great discussion. Like I said earlier today in our last live stream, we were going to try our best to try to upload that session to YouTube. So keep an eye out on our YouTube channel for that. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe and like the channel. We'd love to provide more great content for you as we're able to roll out these opportunities, because I do believe it's such an important part of what we do day in and day out, to connect with each other through this medium. So we've got some great things coming your way, but I did want to say, man, thank you so much for just being a part of this weekend. Thank you so much for being really connecting with us and diving into the conversation. These moments wouldn't be the same without the part that you contribute in your voice, using your voice, learning how to share your story, and really helping us to be able to learn as much as hopefully you're learning as well. We've got a couple of great interviews still lined up for tonight. So look, hey, maybe put it on the TV. Let the kids jump in. This is all going to be PG, so you don't have to worry about anything coming across the screen that is going to be inappropriate. But look, we want to make certain that you have fun tonight. So I have my good friend Seth Price, who's going to be joining us a little bit later and doing an interview. He's coming by. And later than that, we have a surprise guest that I think the kids might enjoy. So you get an opportunity to let Factor Man come to you live and in person on this very live stream. So hang out with us, and we'll get those guys coming your way here very soon. But take a minute real quick and listen to this message from our sponsors.
Hi, I'm Stacey Hilburn. I'm your local Nova Nordis community liaison. I cover Texas, Oklahoma, and New Mexico, and I live in Dallas, Texas. My favorite thing about the rare bleeding disorders community is that it's like a close-knit family. As an HCL, I'm here to support you with your rare bleeding disorders educational resources. I look forward to connecting with you and learning more about you.
All right, I've got my good friend Seth Price from Paragon here with me today. Seth, it's great to see you. Thanks so much for joining us for Summer Leadership Weekend.
Oh, man, I wouldn't miss this for the world.
Yeah, it is always great to be together. I'm sad that we have to do it through a computer screen, but at the same time, man, I'd rather have this than nothing. And thankfully, technology's allowed us to be able to connect in some ways, maybe a little more frequently than we would have if we were in person. So I think we usually get to see each other maybe once or twice a year, maybe 3 times. But this year we've gotten to see each other quite a bit on these Zoom calls. So I'm actually enjoying some of that.
You know what? I will say, though, I've already seen you in person more than I did last year, this year. So I'm just saying we're getting a step ahead here.
I like it. I like it. I'm with you. Absolutely. That's great. Well, I want to say a big, huge thanks to Paragon also for sponsoring this weekend, because we truly couldn't do what we do if it wasn't for your support and friendship, really, in being able to help people in many different ways, including these events. And so, man, thank you so much for just being a part of it and being a big support of Hope.
No, absolutely. Paragon, we love Hope. You do so much for patients and patients' lives and their families. How can you not support an organization like Hope? I mean, you just can't do it. I mean, it has to be done.
Well, I appreciate it. I really do. Tell me a little bit. Maybe there's some people that are just now tuning in and don't know who that beautiful man of a face is that makes Seth Price who you are. But tell us a little bit about where you at now and your role within Paragon. What do you do? And then also how you're infected by hemophilia.
Yeah, sure. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll go with the important one first, hemophilia. Type A, severe, diagnosed 8 months, and have lived a life of challenges and triumphs, and you have your wins, you have your losses, but that's hemophilia, right? So that's my life in a nutshell. But Paragon Healthcare district sales manager. That's my role here, working with the national sales team. And we work all the way from Seattle to all the way over Massachusetts, down to Georgia, right there in the middle part of the country. And of course, corporates right down here in Texas. So yeah, we're spread out all nationally, and yeah, having a blast in California now. So good stuff there.
Wow, that's great. And where do you live at? Are you? I think you just went through a move, right?
I did. So life choice, not related to work in any kind of way, but life choice. My wife and I and our son, we relocated from Texas to Colorado. We now live just in between Fort Collins and Denver, and probably the best life move I think we've ever made.
That's awesome, man. That's so good.
Yeah.
Well, I know you, and so much of your story is really about overcoming challenges. It's about that optimistic point of view that you have. And when I think about our discussion this weekend about summer leadership program, one of the things I'm thinking about is, what it takes to be successful. And you're definitely one of those people who've overcome so much to be where you are today. And let's dive into maybe some of that a little bit. I know that you're a guy that loves quotes and really has mentors and people that you really lean into. And is there any kind of a favorite quote or favorite mentor that you've had that really just inspires you?
Favorite quote? Yeah. I remember hearing it when I was a teenager, and maybe you remember this movie, but Danny DeVito was teaching in a movie called Renaissance Man, and teaching about philosophy and, going into Shakespeare and of course, obviously that's theater, but a few others, that was on there. But he said a quote and it said, "The decisions that you make dictate the life that you lead." And when I heard that quote as a teenager, it was the first one that truly impacted me in my mental state. And it's what I've basically understood. And it's crazy because I said it earlier, you have wins, you have losses, but ultimately every decision that you're making, it will dictate it. So yeah, that's my favorite quote of all time. It has always stuck with me, probably will never leave. And who knows, maybe when I'm 70 years old and I have dementia, I'll still remember it.
Well, hopefully that's one of those quotes that will stick with you. And I agree. One of the things that I think is so impactful about what you're saying is that it really is about choices. It is about looking ahead. It is about making wise choices, sometimes doing the right thing over and over and over again, whether it's convenient or not, still making those choices. It takes discipline. It takes real courage and bravery. And I think you're exactly right. You gotta step into those things so that you can, if you want a good outcome, you got to make good choices, right?
Absolutely. Well, it was nuts. You as a young hemo, and back in the '90s, the meetings were very different, than they are now. It was just nuts back then, and it got to a point where you, as a kid, you feel a little entitled, and the older that you get, you realize entitlement's just not there. You're an adult, you have responsibilities, and you've got to own it. And that comes with hemophilia. You have to own every step of it, and every decision that you're making for your body or your mental state, it will affect you in some kind of way tomorrow and later down the road. So yeah, you got to live true and right through it.
That is so true. Well, let's dive into that a little bit more too, about lessons maybe that you've learned from hemophilia, because it's not just about entitlement. I mean, there's so many other aspects of living with a bleeding disorder that really help kind of frame some of those decision-making processes along the way as well. What would you say have been some of the things that hemophilia itself has taught you about being successful?
Well, like a bleed, you can't procrastinate on a bleed like you can't procrastinate in your job or at home, when you're taking care of a child or making sure that you're owning your role as being a great husband, because I definitely am. Hopefully my wife's not watching this, but regardless, no, it's just like a bleed. You have to take care of it. You have to own it. Otherwise, if you don't, you might get joint damage. And it might get worse. Just like in life, if you don't own up to your responsibilities, sometimes it may get worse. But if you take care of yourself and you take care of your body, just like everything else in life, typically things work out for the best, and you're healthier, your body feels great, and your mental state, it is clear and you're able to move forward. So yeah, I don't know. Hemophilia has always just taught me that if you take care of your health, that means you can probably just own up to your life and probably take care of that too.
Yeah, I think what's the saying that people say is that like the wealthiest, health is wealth. It's that whole idea of that if you're healthy, then you are wealthy. And that's one of those things that's really hit head on with living with a bleeding disorder, I think, is that, man, if you just delay a little bit on one bleed and then the next bleed and then the next, it doesn't take too many of those moments where you start to really entrench joint damage. My daughter, actually, my oldest daughter, she's diagnosed with mild hemophilia, but she already has joint damage in her ankles from having, bleeds throughout her childhood without treatment. And so that's one of those things I think, I think sometimes we think that hemophilia can run away with you if you don't treat it. But at the same time, I think we all get sometimes lackadaisical in our approach, or we want to try to just ignore it, or we want to try to push it down the road. But man, it's those moments where it really counts to try to step up your responsibility. And like you said, just be honest with yourself. If you could just be truthful with what's going on and really recognize that it could be the beginning of making the right decision instead of the wrong decision, right?
Absolutely. And for some folks, I want you to hear me when I say this, I learned this method because I failed. I failed in my hemophilia at one point or another. And because of it, my joints, felt the repercussion of it. So, they always say, don't give advice unless you've walked a day in those shoes. And any adult hemophiliac can tell you they've walked a day in those shoes. At some point or another, we all got tired of putting a needle in our arm and putting factor in there, and we let a bleed go, here or there. But it's all about learning, though. It's all about learning from lessons and the tough ones. If you're not taking away from it, if you're not learning from it, you're just staying backwards. You got to move forward. You got to understand it, comprehend it, learn it, live it.
That's so true. Well, if you could kind of turn back time and go back to your younger version of yourself, what advice would you give yourself if you could go into a time machine and tell yourself, your younger self, what to do and make it better?
Man, I would tell myself to have patience. I would tell myself to just be patient with life. Everything's going to happen in its own time. I would have told myself to just be patient with life. Growing up as a teenager and then, as a kid and a teenager, you always want. And what's the big age? I just want to be 13. I want to be a teenager, like an official one. And then it was 16, and then it was let's drive, and then it was 18. And hey, I can graduate high school and I can go do this and that. And then 21 came, and hey, I can do whatever. And I don't know, after 21, it was like, all right, what's the next step? I wish I would have just told myself, there's gonna be plenty of steps in this lifetime. Just make sure you take one at a time. That's all. Just wish I would have told myself that. But you know what? Again, you live, you learn, and you just gotta hope you land on top. So far, moving to Colorado, I feel like I'm living on cloud nine some days. It's really good.
That is awesome. Well, as near as you are to the Mile High City, you probably are living near a cloud. So
I am actually. I'm looking at.
That's great, man.
Right outside my window. Not kidding.
You're such an inspiration, I think, to many people who are trying to navigate hemophilia and the unknowns of that, what it looks like and means to make, really to make, good decisions out of challenging circumstances. And so, man, thanks for pushing through, not just for yourself, but thanks for pushing through for all the people who look at you as an example. And have followed in your footsteps because of what you've chosen. It really is the definition of a hero. And man, there's so many people out there that look up to you and to others in the community that really have been able to overcome in a positive way and turn really something that could have been disastrous into something beautiful. And man, we didn't get into all the weeds of the mental and emotional pressure and stuff like that. But I know you've overcome a lot of those things too at times where you're just trying to navigate the emotions of wanting to ignore and wanting to push aside, but just trying to be present in the moment. And man, I just appreciate all of the battles that you've won privately so that you can be able to help others win publicly because you're doing it. So thanks for being a part of this weekend. Thanks for having a voice in the middle of all of the chaos that's going on around us. And I look forward to seeing more of you hopefully soon.
Absolutely, man. I look forward to seeing you soon.
All right. Take care.
Take care, man.
Hi, I'm Craig Price, your local Novo Nordisk Hemophilia Community Liaison, or HCL. One thing I love about the rare bleeding disorders community is the passion and love we have for one another and how we really are one big family. I like to be outside with my children, be active, and work out. I like to get to know you better and your family. And in doing that, you can ask me next time you meet me, ask me about the story about my youngest son. I love to talk to you and get to know you more. Take care.
All right, I've got my good friend Factor Man joining us here for Summer Leadership. It's great to see you, Factor Man. Thanks for being a part of our weekend.
Hey, Jonathan, thanks for having me out. Hello, everyone.
You know, I don't know if you remember this or not, but I remember even as a kid going into the treatment center and seeing Factor Man comic books sitting right there on the table next to us where we were getting ready to go into our clinic visit. And the stories that went along with that were always entertaining and fun. And I really just appreciate you doing a cameo and being here with us this weekend because, we talk about superheroes, being successful in life, leading the way. I mean, there you go. This is all about Factor Man's mantra, right? So you guys are from CVS Health, and just want to say a big thank you to CVS also for sponsoring this weekend. But thank you again for being here and talking about leadership with me today.
Yeah, glad to be here, Jonathan. And, you know, definitely after a whole year and a half of a pandemic, I'm sure that we're all busting at the seams to get together and be connected on a much deeper level. So thanks for having me out.
So true. Well, tell me a little bit about your experiences through the pandemic, because you had to have some additional challenges you weren't used to doing. So, I mean, tell me, did you wear masks? What did you do during this pandemic?
Yeah, well, you know, I worked with Professor Proton, and, you know, maybe many of you guys have heard of him. He's been in a lot of our comic book series. And we actually last year did an investigation into the cells and all of the stuff that goes into what's happening to our bodies with COVID. And so we had a great little challenge where we went down, Professor Proton shrunk us down, and we went into a petri dish and got into the cell that was infected with COVID. And we got to learn all about what happens when someone gets COVID. And it was really eye-opening, and our audience got to read about it. We even had to take on one of our arch nemesises who tried to keep us in that cell for the rest of our lives. But we were able to outsmart him and share the message of hope when it comes to the pandemic and getting out of it. So yeah, one of the things for sure, me and my whole team, we had our matching red masks on, and we wore masks just like everybody else, and we socially distanced, but we really made sure that we were getting out there into the hearts of everybody and talking with all of our people to make sure that they were okay. And you know, we're glad that we got to come into people's homes via Zoom or what other platform, and through the hearts of our comic books, we were able still to bring some joy and some victory and a hope that things would change in the future. And it looks like they are changing, so that's good. We actually have a new book coming out this fall that is going to be great, and I'm going to give you guys the sneak preview, is that Factor Man is taking the Factor team on a camping trip to Maple Leaf Ridge. And it's going to be a mystery series that he's going to go and They're going to encounter some mystery that they've got to solve, and it's going to be a really good one. The Factor Man is taking the RV and taking his group out there. But listen, you know, we want everyone who has a bleeding disorder to know that you are an amazing person and that you have gifts that you need to share with this world. You have strength, you have power, you have courage, and those are all amazing characteristics that leaders have. And we believe in you, whether you're 5 years old or you're 70. The things that we do in this community can really impact our country, our world. And I just would encourage you to look for what you're good at and go and do that well and live your life to the fullest. And as my friend Rob would say, always be joyful, joyful. So thanks, Jonathan.
I love it. And we really appreciate you being a part of this weekend with us to talk about leadership. And as well, big thanks to CVS Health for sponsoring this weekend as well. We couldn't do these moments and opportunities without all the help that we get from our friends over there. And so want to say again, a big thanks. And maybe, just maybe, you might get to see an appearance, hopefully in the next year or so, from Factor Man at one of our physical events. And so we hope to see you in person when it's safe to do so. But thanks again for joining us this weekend. We look forward to seeing you soon.
Hi, my name is Dan Bull, and I am your Mid-Atlantic Hemophilia Community Liaison, or HCL, with Novo Nordisk. You might find me in Virginia, where I grew up, Maryland, where I currently reside. I also cover North Carolina, Delaware, and Washington, D.C. The thing I've enjoyed most about the hemophilia community is that while we all face adversity, the individuals I've met, the friends I've made, have been resilient, truly overcomers. And I've found this to be a community of individuals working to support each other that very closely resembles a family. As an HCL, I'm here to support you with educational resources for your rare bleeding disorder. I'd love the opportunity to connect with you, to get to know you, and to see how I can be of service. Be well.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight for this live stream. This has really been a treat to be together this whole weekend, and we could not just say thank you enough to all of our sponsors who've made it possible. We really couldn't do the work that we do if it wasn't for our sponsors who've really been there to support us, especially through times like these, because it really does help us to be able to provide these moments for us to be able to connect. Also, a lot of people might not know this, but we as Hope Charities actually help people day in and day out as it pertains to crisis management with financial resources, all kinds of connections to other programs that you may not know about. And so if there's anything that we can do to help you, please let us know. We want to be here for you day in and day out, not just in moments like this for education purposes. We believe in these moments. We obviously invest a lot of time and energy into being able to connect, but we also really believe in advocating for the individual person. And so we are here to help. If there's anything that we can do to help you with one of our programs, you can learn more about what we offer on our website, but we also would love for you to just pick up the phone, give us a call, and someone would be glad to help you out with finding a resource for you in some form or fashion. And we certainly hope that you feel comfortable enough to do that. It's been great getting to know each one of you a little bit better this weekend, and so hopefully we'll have time to be able to catch up and learn more about each other as time goes along. If you have not heard any of the information that we've shared today, we will be uploading some of this onto our YouTube channel. So make sure you go over there and subscribe and hit the little bell so that it'll give you alerts when we load new content. Not every session that we have provided this weekend will be available because of legal reasons, but we do have some sessions that we can provide to you, and whichever ones we have permission to share for people to watch later, we definitely will make certain that those are available. So we certainly think that these moments are important, but sometimes we understand schedules just prohibit you from being able to be at everything. So we want you to be able to catch up with that information after the fact, or maybe you want to go back and take notes. I've done that many times, and I know that that's something that's also really, really, really important. So look, we are not done yet. We got one more session right after this, 7:30. I'm going to see you over there, and it's with our friends from Octapharma talking about stress management. And I think it's going to be a really, really, really great session, and I think you're going to want to enjoy that. But also tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., Saturday, July 17th, we are going to be doing a live session on self-care put on by Lori Bienvenue, and I think you're just going to be blown away. I think it's going to be one of those sessions that you go, man, this was one that I really remember, because so often caregiver burnout is the very thing that stops us from being able to continue on the long journey of navigating a difficult chronic illness. And so we understand that, and we want to give you the tools that you can grow as an individual, as a leader of your own life, and make certain that you do it in a way that takes care of yourself without burning yourself out regularly. So hopefully those things will help you. I'll look forward to seeing you in the morning. And then tomorrow afternoon, we're going to have one more live session right back here on YouTube and Facebook. We hope to see you there. We're going to have fun doing some wrap up and having our staff be able to talk to us a little bit about how their experiences went this weekend as well. But big thanks to all of our sponsors. We appreciate every one of you for being here. It is a joy to spend time with you, and we look forward to seeing you again in the morning. If you don't have the information, you can always go to our website at hope-charities.org, and you can actually register still for the event. It's still time, and we're still giving away a few more gift cards tomorrow. So make certain that you jump into those sessions, and we'll be glad to send you the links. All you got to do is register, and we will send those to you so that you can participate. So we hope to see you in the morning, and right now we're getting ready for our last Zoom call in just a few minutes. So jump on, and we'll talk to you soon.